Hello there guys, and welcome back to another episode of Rebuilding Histon. And coming up in today's episode, we have got a home game against Barnstaple, and if results go our way, will have been promoted and will have won the Southern Premier Division. But before we get into this game, let's take you through what's been happening since you were last with us, which was the bit of a long live com. I apologise for the length of the last video. That's mainly because of the fact that I wanted to get those two important games out of the way, and I wanted to show you guys what was going to happen. Unfortunately, the episode didn't go too well as we lost both those games. 3-2 away at Banbury in the Southern League Cup semi-final, and a 4-2 away against our nearest rivals in the league, Hereford. However, we bounced back fantastically with a 6-0 thrashing of Gloucester City, who are in the relegation zone. I think currently trying to find a way out of the relegation zone. As you can see, a great reaction from the players after the disappointment of the Hereford game. Josh Green with 2 goals, Hogan Ephraim with 2 goals, James Difford and Callum Harris scored as well. Harris scoring his first goal for the club, which was fantastic as well. So great way to bounce back, and it's a 6-0 victory away from home. I think that's the biggest victory that we've had away from home so far in this save, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Please correct me in the comments if I've missed something on that. I don't really want to go through all the fixtures to see if what's our record is right now, but following on from that, we then won 3-0 at home against Rugby, who were currently sitting in 3rd place at the time. Again, a very important result that we got. It took us until the 71st minute, though, to score a goal. Justin May after 71 minutes. Then Brad McGowan put the ball through his own net to make it 2-0, before Jack Friend converting from the penalty spot to make it 3-0, and ensuring that we scored 9 unanswered goals, and backed that up with 2 straight wins. In this game, I think Hereford actually dropped points. That meant we increased our gap again, and this is the reason why at this home game against Barnstaple we could wrap up the league title. We then followed that 3-0 victory with a 2-1 victory against Brackley. Interesting thing was that Jack Huttery scored. Not just that he scored from a free kick, and I'm going to show you that right now, as it was quite an interesting how the goal was scored. It was a massive deflection off the wall, but still, what a great way to score your first goal of the season. As you can see right here, takes a free kick, comes off a bit off the wall, and he celebrates as if he does that normally. But yeah, that was really surprising that he was the man that stepped up to take the free kick. I guess because of the fact that Josh Green wasn't on the pitch at that point. That's the reason why he was taking the free kick. Some random guy was selected to be free kick taker. But then Stuart Potts equalised for Brackley before Josh Green in the 90th minute got us the 3 points, which was absolutely fantastic, and allowed us to extend our lead at the top of the table, and that was awesome. We had a chance to actually wrap up the league title away at Hampton and Richmond. Unfortunately, with Hereford losing as well, we ended up losing against Hampton and Richmond away from home. Didn't start off too well for us. Hogan Ephraim scoring an own goal, deflection off a free kick from what I remember. Josh Green then added another goal to his tally to equalise before Riviere Fort and Lucas Dawson scored from the penalty spot to make it 3-1 Hampton Richmond. That was their two of their shots on target resulted in 2 goals. So typical FM statistics there. Before Josh Green added a second goal to his tally, but unfortunately we weren't able to find a way back into the game and score a point, which would have made the title wrap up a little bit more secure if that had finished as a draw, because we would have been 9 points clear with 3 games remaining, and that would have meant we'd have had to lose every single game in the last 3 games, and Hereford would have had to win the last 3 games. But that's not what happened, so the gap has remained at 8 points. So it has gone up a little bit. It has gone up by 3 points since you guys were last with us. So it's gone back up to the gap that it was before we played Hereford. So yeah, we could have wrapped up the title then, I think, by now, if that's a result against Hereford had gone our way. I'm hoping that we can steal the title today, because it's not been a very good day for Histon fans in real life, because as I've been recording this, the team unfortunately was relegated from the Southern League First Division Central, which means that they'll be playing in the 9th tier next season. So that's if we go to their club statistics and their thing, that's back-to-back relegations, unfortunately for them, and that's another relegation after being so high up in the Football League pyramid. It's 10 years ago since they were promoted to the Van Armour National League. So I'm hoping that we can get a little bit. This game is this is a game. It's not real life, but I'm hoping to give the fans something to cheer about and get ourselves promoted in our FM save to get them back into the Van Armour National League South. I think it will be if we do get promoted today. So let's get on with the match. 473 fans have come up to turn up for this game, so not many fans to see a potentially title clinching match, but they probably all come to the last game of the season at home to Hitchin, and I'm hoping that we can have a good result today and ensure that the title's wrapped up already. Only downside is the fact that we had a team meeting, and some of the morale of the players did slightly go down, but this, as you can see from here, everyone's still on pretty good morale, which is fantastic. And the other downside is that Harry Osborne is suspended for the rest of the season because he picked up a yellow card in the last game, which meant he's banned for 3 matches, which is a bit of a shame. Which means Jack Uttridge will be having taking the starting role at centre back for this particular match. Maybe Kai Smith comes in a bit late in the last 2 games. It just depends on what happens with Taylor McKenzie possibly getting another yellow card as we come through towards the end of the season, or Kevin Carrillo as well. So here's the team that we're going to go for today. Reece Bills in goal with Goddard, McKenzie, Uttridge and Carrillo as the back 4, with Alfie Davidson alongside Callum Harris. Harris has played pretty well in Callum Frew's absence, which is why Frew is only on the bench today. Hogo Ephraimi and Justin Mayer on the wings, with James Difford and Josh Green up front. I couldn't leave Josh Green out after he scored a brace in the last game, so despite us losing. But yeah, and then we're actually going to go for 2 strikers up front because unfortunately Steve Reed was injured and actually had food poisoning, so that's why he's only on 82% conditioning. And Carl Pritchard is still coming back from a torn hamstring, which is is only 3 days away from rehabilitation. Those 2 guys might actually get game time as soon as they get fully recovered if we wrap up the league title, but that's all dependent on this result today. As we now get into the game, we're focusing on attacking movement for this match. Jack Uttridge lacking a little bit of match sharpness, so maybe a risk to play him today, but I want to give him that. If we do win, I want to give him that little nice send off because I'm thinking he's probably not going to be here at the end of the season. At the end of the season, and for next year if we are in the Vanarama South. We've got a team tunnel interview. I'm going to go that he's just been rested. Okay, that seems to have gone. Hopefully that's gone well. As we now go into the opposition instructions. I think we beat Barnstaple last time we played against them. I didn't check the previous head-to-head records. I think we've only played them once before. So again, a pretty new team to us, but I'm hoping we can get the positive result today. Let's go for a. Let's see. With favourites here, go out and press me. Yes, that's exactly what I wanted in terms of the player reaction. Have faith. Have faith. Okay, that hasn't done anything for the midfield, but have faith maybe to Difford? No, unfortunately not. Anyways, let's get into the game. We're going to go on attacking to start with because we are at home. Let's get ourselves on the front foot and get ourselves in front here. I mean, even if we lose, we could easily still wrap up the title if Hereford aren't able to win their game against. I can't remember who they were playing actually. I should have checked on the live scores. But anyways, we're not going to do that right now. But let's get on with our game. Hereford's highlights might pop up on the right-hand side. Okay, a throw in from Davidson. It was been cut out though, unfortunately, by Barnstaple. Here's Goddard though on the right-hand side, recovering that ball. Here's Davidson again, back to Harris. Unfortunately, he's lost it to Bacco. Here's Manel, one of the strikers, but Uttridge has managed to clear it away fantastically. And the ball's now back with Davidson. He might look for. He's gone back to Harris though. Here's Carrillo on the left-hand side, back to Harris. Davidson, little interchange of passing here. Here's Difford, nice little 1-2 with Green. Difford's taking the shot and it's saved by Jackson. That's gone down. That's our first clear-cut chance of the game after just 12 minutes into the match. As Ephraim takes the resulting corner, it's fouled by James Difford, unfortunately though, and that means that it's a free kick for Barnstaple, and that's the end of the highlights. Okay, we're coming up towards half-time. No highlights since that first chance that we had, and Hereford are still drawing their particular game, so that means, as it stands, we are still on course to win promotion and win the league title here. As we go for a passionate team talk here, a couple of the players looking very nervous, but let's hope we can get past that. I mean, it's 3 of the players, but a couple of them are defenders, which is not good. Let's see if they can get motivated here. Taylor McKenzie's looking nervous, but Carrillo's now looking happy, and Ephraim is looking delighted, so that's okay. We may end up having to make a couple of changes in terms of the team here. 6.3 for James Difford so far, so maybe the introduction of either Marshall Coton or Jack Friend a bit later on in the match. As we now begin the second half here, kicking off from left to right. Let's see, we've got 45 minutes before we are potentially Southern Premier League champions, but let's see if we can wrap it up with a victory here. We're entering towards the 65-minute mark, and I'm now going to make a change because I think it's time to do that. It's a tough one though because I'm actually going to go for Marsh Katung because I think I want to play Jack Friend on the wing instead of Hogan Ephraim. I'm going to go for a double change actually. Ephraim and Difford off for Marsh Katung and Jack Friend. Although I might I'm just going to do what's his face? Jack Friend on for Ephraim, and that's it. Maybe Alfred Davidson off for Callum Frew. No, I didn't want to take off Justin May. Apologies, it's taking a little bit longer than normal. I'm going to go for that and see if that will make a difference in terms of chances that we can get. Okay, goal kick for Barnstaple is cleared away. Carolina's managed to win the header though. Here's Waldron down to White, to Bacco, who's put a ball up towards Manel here. He might cross the ball in here. Yes, he has done, but Davidson's managed to clear it away, and Harris is now on the ball, bringing it out towards the midway part of the pitch. And here's Green after a knockdown from Difford. Green takes a shot. It's a tame effort though, unfortunately, and that's gone straight into the hands of Jackson. With 22 minutes remaining, we still haven't managed to find a way through here. I'm going to make another change. I'm going to bring on Callum Frew for Alfie Davidson. And I'm also going to bring on Marsh Katung for James Difford to see if that will spike a potential winner with 20 minutes remaining. Oh, that's Taylor McKenzie suspended for the next game or so because he's now picked up a yellow card. That's not good. We're entering the last 15 minutes now, and Hereford still haven't managed to find a way through against whoever they're playing. 10 minutes to go now, and we're still on course to win the league title here through a 0-0 draw. I think this is what happened last time we were close to winning a league title here. I think back in the first season we drew 0-0 with Royston, but then everyone else around us messed up as well, so that meant we won the title. Ball was played up towards Green there, but was cut out. But here's through again, but unfortunately the ball has been won back by Bacco, and here's Manel. Ball up towards Mills. Please not like this. Please not like this. He's hit the crossbar and it's gone back off Bills. No, that could have gone. That's not gone very well, and we're now only 7 points clear of Hereford. As it stands, though, we are still winning the league title. That's a really unfortunate goal to concede, though. And if Hereford somehow find a way past whoever they're playing, the gap will then be down to just 5 points, and the title will go on to the next game, which is against Taunton, I think, away from home, who are in the relegation zone and have already been relegated. So I'm hoping they're not playing for anything. Okay, here's the highlight. It was a nice ball up towards Mills. No suspicion of offside, though. He hits it. Bills somehow, for some reason, does some sort of animation afterwards, and that's why it comes back off him and goes into the back of the net. That's really, really unfortunate here, as we've now got 1 minute remaining. Hereford still haven't managed to find a way through against their respective team, whoever they're playing, with just 2 minutes remaining of stoppage time. Bills has now been booked for some reason, for probably a handball. We're now going to go on an overload for the last couple of seconds here. Throw-in's been made. That's the end of the game. Have Hereford managed to find a way through in their match? I'm going to say... Oh... I'm going to go for that and see if that makes a difference. Let's see what Hereford have managed to do in their game. Oh, Hereford only managed to draw 0-0, which means we have won the league title despite the defeat against Barnstaple, which is our first home league defeat of the season. Typical, isn't it? We, I think, have won the league title. There's 2 games remaining with a 7-point gap. So I guess that if my maths is correct, that means we are champions and we have been promoted. Let's just see if we've got a confirmation email after we get through this. Alright, there it is. We have officially won the Southern League Premier Division title. It's our second piece of silverware in this save, and it's absolutely fantastic. We've managed to bounce back from that playoff heartbreak and title heartbreak last season when we lost to Salisbury and Hereford respectively. But fantastic stuff that we've managed to earn promotion into the next division, into the 6th tier of English football, the first playable football manager league in England if you don't have an extra database, which is absolutely fantastic. Let's have a quick look and see. Yeah, despite defeat, we clinched the league title. Gosport and Rugby have guaranteed themselves in the playoffs, and the board has now set a budget of £6,000. We've got now £6,750 per week in terms of wage budget, and a transfer budget of £14,600 next season. Wow, that's quite a bit for for National League South, which will be amazing. I think we'll definitely need to be using that wage budget as best we can. But of course, we've got to keep an eye on the finances and don't run this club into the ground, as I've mentioned on many occasions before. That's why I've been saving the money and always been trying to spend on the budget. The only time we didn't do that was when we were in the first season and I was overspending, but I just wanted to make sure we didn't overspend from now on. And it's absolutely fantastic we've been able to do that. The board confidence is absolutely fantastic as well. Steve Fallander has one of Histon's favourites, the man who actually managed to get Histon all the way up into the Vanarama National League, or the Blue Square Premier as it was known at the time, has declared that was a proud day for the club and the fans. It's absolutely fantastic. So, what a day. What a fantastic stuff. We've managed to, despite the defeat, and that's back-to-back league defeats for the first time this season, we are promoted. So, what you'll see next time will be the start of the next season, because I don't think I will want to show you guys Hitchin for like the third or fourth time this season. It's a bit boring to see to play against the same team multiple times, unless they're a contender like they suppose like Hereford were a couple of times, and also Merthyr Town a couple of years ago. So what I'll do is I'm going to play these last two games off camera, and then I'll rejoin you guys for season 5, and I'll talk you through what's been happening over the summer, what's been going on ins and outs in terms of transfers, any possible potential changes in backroom staff, and and seeing seeing how the pre-season has gone. You'll see the first league game of hopefully the Vanarama South, if my geography is correct. I think Histon should go in the Vanarama National League. Alright guys, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode and also the season 4. We finally did it. We've managed to achieve Southern League Premier Division promotion, and we're now going to be in the 6th tier next season, which will be fantastic. It's taken us 4 years to get into the official playable leagues of their Football Manager, but I'm hoping now we can continue to build the club and continue to try and get ourselves all the way up into the National League as soon as possible, and possibly into the Football League as soon as possible. It's just a question of the signings that we make and how much money we can bring into the club as well, and who we have to keep and who's going to be leaving at the end of the season. There could be a couple of tough decisions that we have to make. But yeah, despite the result, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you for the next episode, which will be the start of season 5 in the 6th tier of English football. So until then, see you later.